Attribute name we have to follow. Okay. For example, if cursor name is C1, we write like this: C1 percentage found, C1 percentage not found, C1 percentage row count, C1 percentage is open. Like this we use. If you want to use the cursor attribute, we write cursor name percentage attribute name. So C1 percentage found, C1 percentage not found, C1 percentage row count, C1 percentage is open. So like this we can use the cursor attributes. So what is the purpose of this percentage found, sir? This percentage found attribute, it returns Boolean value, like true, false. It returns Boolean value. If record is found, if record is found, it returns true. If record is not found, it returns false. So if the percentage found, if record is found, what it returns? True. If record is not found, what it returns? False. Next, percentage not found. It is opposite to the found. Okay, it is opposite to the found. It also returns Boolean value. It returns Boolean value. If record is not found, what it returns? True. If record is found, it returns false. This is percentage not found. Next, percentage row count. Okay. Generally, it is used to get number of rows fetched. So how many rows are fetched? Is it to get number of rows fetched? So to get number of rows fetched, we use percentage row count. So initially, row count value is 0. Initially, row count value is 0. So when first record is fetched, when fetch is executed for first time, row count value will become 1. So when fetch is executed for first time, row count value will be incremented by 1. Means now row count value is 1. So when fetch is executed for second time, row count value will become 2. Now row count value is 1. Row count value is 1. So when fetch is executed for first time, row count will be incremented by 1. So now row count value is 1. So when fetch is executed for next time, again row count value will be incremented by 1. Now row count value will become 2. So when fetch is executed, row count value will be incremented by 1. Okay, so when fetch is executed, row count value will be incremented by 1. So when fetch is successful, row count value will be incremented by 1. Okay. So clearly I'm writing, when fetch is executed for next time, when fetch is executed for next time, row count value will be again incremented by 1. So when fetch is executed for next time, row count value will become 2. Row count value is 2, and so on. So the point to understand here is, when fetch is successful, row count value will be incremented by 1. So this is row count. So how many rows are fetched here? How many rows are processed here? To get that number, we use percentage row count. Next, whether cursor is opened or not, to check it, we use percentage is open. It returns Boolean value. Returns Boolean value. Okay, it is used to check whether cursor is opened or not. So whether cursor is opened or not, we want to check. So we use percentage is open. Okay. For example, after opening the cursor, if we use this is open, that returns true. Before opening the cursor, if we use it, it returns false. For example, here, we are opening the cursor here. After opening the cursor, if you write percentage, C1 percentage is open, okay, means what it returns? True. Okay. Before opening, now cursor is not open, so what it returns? False. If cursor is open, it returns true. If cursor is not open, it returns false. So like this we use. So these are the 4 cursor attributes. So what are the cursor attributes are there? Percentage found, percentage not found, percentage row count, percentage is open. 4 cursor attributes are there. Okay, when record is found, percentage found value is true. When record is not found, percentage found value is false. Percentage not found. When record is not found, okay, its value is true. When record is found, its value is false. Percentage row count. When fetch is executed, row count value will be incremented by 1. Fetch is executed for first time, row count value will become 1. Fetch is executed for next time, row count value will become 2. It goes on. So to get number of rows fetched and processed, we use this percentage row count. To check whether cursor is opened or not, we use this percentage is open. These are the 4 cursor attributes. Okay. So now, you know 4 steps. These 4 steps and these cursor attributes are important to write the program. So what are the steps? Declare, open, fetch, close. What are the cursor attributes? Percentage found, percentage not found, percentage row count, percentage is open. So now you know theory part regarding cursors. Now you can write the programs. Okay. In the initial sessions, we have written this program. Select program we have written. Now, here we are giving employee number. That employee's record, it is displaying, it is retrieving and displaying. Now, using this program, how many records we can display? 1 record only. Just we give one employee number, that one employee's record only it will display. Okay, it cannot display multiple records. It can display only single record. It cannot display multiple records. So, for example, we are running this program. I am giving this employee number as 1005. So here 1005 employees data will be retrieved. E-name will be copied into V underscore E-name. Salary will be copied into V underscore salary. Hire date will be copied into V underscore hire date. And it displays that 1005 persons data. So how many employees records it is displaying now? Only 1. 1 employee record it is displaying. So if we follow this way, we can display only single record. Now our requirement is we want to work with multiple records. We want to display all records. So when we want to work with multiple rows, we must use cursor concept. We cannot follow this way. We must use cursor concept. So that's why we are using the cursor. So this is a program to display all employees records. Program to display all employees records. We want to display all employees records. This is our requirement. What we have to write? Declare, begin, end. Okay, pay attention and listen carefully. We want to declare the cursor. Okay, to declare the cursor, what we have to write? Cursor variable name is select query. What we have to write? Cursor variable name C1 is write the select query. We want to retrieve e-name and salary from EMP. So cursor declared, select query is given. So this is called declaring cursor. One step is over. Second step is what? Open the cursor. For opening cursor, what we are writing? Open C1. Cursor is open. Okay. Now we want to fetch the records from cursor. See here, yesterday we discussed this. Observe the syntaxes first. This is the syntax for declaring cursor. Cursor variable name is select query. Cursor C1 is the cursor variable name, is select query we are writing as ename salary from EMP. To open this cursor, what we are writing? Open cursor name, open C1. To fetch the record from cursor, fetch cursor name into variable list. Fetch cursor name C1 into, in these variables we are copying that row. And finally, to close the cursor, close cursor name we have to give, close C1. These are the 4 steps. Those only we are writing. Yesterday we discussed this. So here we are declaring the cursor. Cursor C1 is select statement. Here we are opening the cursor. After that we need to fetch. For fetching, what we have to write? Fetch cursor name. So now this cursor has entire row. Okay. So that entire row we are copying into the corresponding variables. V underscore ename, V underscore salary. So one record will be fetched. That one record we want to print. So right here, dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, we want to print employee name. What we have to write? V underscore ename. I want to get 3 spaces. Okay, V underscore salary. Okay, so finally to close the cursor, we are writing close C1. Now this program can display how many records now? This program can display how many records now? 1 record only. One fetch statement can display 1 record only. If you want to process multiple rows, write this fetch statement in the loop. So that's it. This is the program. What is happening? Observe here. I'm explaining execution process clearly. Try to understand. See here. With this declaration, C1 variable is created. So with this declaration, okay, C1 variable is created. Okay, yes, we need to declare the variables. Okay, so C1 variable is created. So this select query will be identified. This is at the time of declaration here. What is happening? Just C1 variable is created. This select query will be identified. Next, when we open the cursor, what happens? This select query will run. That select query result will be stored in the Oracle instance. Okay, so here employee names and salaries will be holded in the Oracle instance. Like 1005, so Smith is salary. Okay, Allen is salary. Okay, Ward is salary. So like this select query result will be stored in the Oracle instance. That memory location address will be given to the C1. Now fetch is executed. Okay, I'm writing clearly here. Try to understand. Let me declare these 2 variables, V underscore ename, V underscore salary. Okay, so this is emp dot ename percentage type. This is emp dot salary percentage type. So in the Oracle instance, that is storing employee name and salary. So employee name Smith is salary. Employee name Allen is salary. Employee name Ward is salary. So like this data stored in the Oracle instance now. Try to understand. Once again, I am repeating. Here we are declaring the cursor. With this, one cursor variable C1 will be created. And this select query will be identified. Here we are opening the cursor. When we open the cursor, this select query will run. That select query result copied from Oracle database to the Oracle instance. So now this is the memory location. This green color box is the memory location in the Oracle instance. This memory location address will be given to the C1. So now C1 is pointing to the memory location in the Oracle instance. Okay. So like this, cursor is holding multiple rows now. Now cursor is holding multiple rows. Okay. So by default, this cursor is pointed to the before first row. This is after last row. So first time fetch is executed now. When first time fetch is executed, what happens here? This first record will be copied into the corresponding variables. So now v underscore ename value will become Smith. V underscore salary value will become 5,000. So first time this cursor is pointing to the before first row. When fetch is executed for first time, first record copied into the corresponding variables with this fetch statement. Now cursor is pointing to first row. That first record copied into the corresponding variables. Here fetch is executed. So first record copied into the variables. We are printing v underscore ename and v underscore salary. So on output screen, it prints employee name Smith and salary 5,000. So now we need to execute this fetch statement once again. So we have to write this code in the loop. If you write in the loop, again fetch statement will be executed. Again, when fetch is executed for second time, this second record will be copied into the variables. C1 is pointing to second row now. When fetch is executed for second time, this second row will be copied into the variables. Now v underscore ename value will become what now? Ln. V underscore salary value will become what now? 4,000. So here v underscore ename value ln will be printed. And v underscore salary value 4,000 will be printed. Okay, statements in the loop are over. Again we need to execute the fetch statement. Again fetch is executed means it fetches next record. Now this third record will be pointed. This record will be copied into corresponding variables. Now v underscore ename value will become what? And v underscore salary value will become 6,000. So v underscore ename value what will be printed? V underscore salary value 6,000 will be printed. Again fetch will be executed. So after what, no row is there. Now fetch is unsuccessful. When fetch is unsuccessful, terminate this loop. So to terminate the loop, what we have to write? Exit when. Okay. When we want to exit, when record not found, exit. So what we have to write here? Cursor name C1. C1 percentage not found. So when record is not found, this value will become true. It terminates the loop. Like this we have to write. So this is the way of working with the cursor. Okay. So cursor C1 means C1 is created. Select query will be identified. When we open the cursor, this select query will run. Select query result will be copied into the Oracle instance. This memory location address will be stored in the cursor. Now when fetch is executed, it fetches first record, copies into the variables. We are printing. So we need to write this code inside of the loop. When fetch is executed for second time, second record will be copied into the variables. We are printing. When fetch is executed for third time, okay, third record will be copied into the variables. We are printing. Okay, next no records are there. We have to terminate. When we have to terminate, exit when C1 percentage not found. When record is not found, terminate it. Okay, so exit when C1 percentage not found. So observe. See, see here, when fetch is executed for first time, so record is found here. When record is found, not value become false. So it will not terminate the loop. Okay, so here also record is found, not found value is false. Here also record is found, not found value is false. Here record not found now. When record is not found, this value will become true. When this value is true, it terminates the loop. So we are writing this code inside of the loop. So this is the code for displaying all employees records. So this fetch statement we are writing inside of the loop. Simple loop we are using. To terminate simple loop, we are using exit when. When record is not found, terminate the loop. Okay, when record is found, print it. I'm copying this. Okay, observe here. All employees records printed or not, see here. So Smith is salary. Allen is salary. What is salary? Okay, if loop is not there, if this loop is not there, okay, for example, I'm removing loop here. I'm removing loop. If loop is not there, what happens? Only one record will be fetched. Only one record will be fetched here. Okay, and that one record will be printed. See here, how many records it is printing? One record. But our requirement is what? We want to print all records. Okay, so we have to write this code inside of the loop. So that's why we are writing loop here. So instead of loop, we are writing fetch statement. So when record is not found, terminate the loop. Exit when C1 percentage not found. So when record is not found, terminate the loop. When record is found, print it. So please confirm, did you understand this? Next. Now same program here, if we follow this way, here we are printing which details? Only employee names and salaries. I want to display entire record. To display entire record, how many variables we have to take now? How many variables we have to take? 8 variables. To display 2 values, 2 variables you are taking. To display all values, how many variables we have to take? 8. Instead of taking 8 variables, simply you can take row type variable. Okay, so now same program I am writing, row type variable I am taking now. Okay, same program. Okay, see here, observe. Please tell me what you have to write. Just feel like practice. Please, all of you involve in the class and give me the response here. Declare, begin, end. What we have to write? cursor we have to declare. Cursor C1 is select all data we want, star. Previously we have taken ename salary only. Now star, all columns data we want. Select star from EMP. So select star from EMP we are writing. Okay. So cursor we are declaring here. Now we need to open the cursor. What we have to write? Open C1. So cursor is open. We need to fetch the record from cursor. What we have to write? Fetch C1 into entire row we want to hold. R. R is which type? Okay, row type. Which table's row type? EMP. EMP percentage row type. EMP percentage row type. Okay, now we have entire row. Okay, we want to print employee name, salary and hire date. DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. R dot ename. I want to get 3 spaces. R dot ename. I want to get 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, R dot salary. I want to get 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next R dot hire date. R dot hire date. R dot hire date. Okay, so this is the program. Now, finally, to close the cursor, what we are writing? Close C1. Okay. Now it can display how many records now? One record only. Observe here. Are we taking many variables here? Are we taking 8 variables here? No. Just we are taking row type variable that is holding 8 values. Whatever the values required, those we can print. I am printing 3. If you want to print 8, print 8. So I am copying and running this program. Observe. Okay, see here. How many records it is printing now? One employee record it is printing. So I want to print all employees records. What we have to do now? Okay, this code we have to write it inside of the loop. So fetch next record, print it. Fetch next record, print it. So write this code inside of the loop. So simple loop we are taking. Loop, end loop. Okay, so fetch. Now when we have to terminate this exit, when record is not found, we want to terminate it. What we have to write? C1 percentage not found. Percentage not found. So when record is not found, terminate it. Otherwise print it. This is the code. Okay, same program. There we have taken variables. Here we are taking row type. Just for practice purpose, once again we have written. I am copying. Observe here. Now all employees records will be printed. See here. See, all employees, employee names, okay, their salaries and hire dates it is printing. Okay, first record, second record, third record, like this. Listen carefully here. For example, we are writing like this. Select ename, comma salary, comma hire date from EMP I am writing. So now what is the result of this one? It displays all employees, employee name, salaries, hire date. Okay, what is the output of our program? It is displaying all employee names, salaries and hire date. Both are same or not? Yes. So here to execute this select query, implicitly it is using one cursor. To execute this select query here, implicitly it is using one cursor. One cursor is used. Okay. So to execute this select query, implicitly one cursor is used. That is called implicit cursor. That implicit cursor name is SQL. So this is C1 is our cursor. This is explicit cursor. We defined cursor, and here we are processing multiple rows. We are printing multiple employees records. So what is happening here? See, C1 variable will be created. Select star from EMP means in the Oracle instance, entire EMP table data will be copied, employee number, e-name, salary, hire date, etc. Like this. So this data will be stored in the Oracle instance. This memory location address will be given to the C1. Okay, R variable will be created. R can hold entire row. It can hold employee number, e-name, salary, hire date, etc. Okay, next, when we open the cursor like this, select query run, and it is storing the result in the Oracle instance. Next, fetch. So when fetch is executed for first time, first record 1001 copied into R. So 1001 will be, so record found or not? Yes. So this value is false now. So record found, this prints that 1001 record on output screen. So on output screen, it prints 1001 employee record. Next, because of we have written in the loop, again fetch will be executed. So second row will be copied into the R. Now record is found, so percentage not found value is false. 1002 will be printed. This one is printing 1002. Next, again loop means again fetch statement will be executed. It is fetching another record. This record will be copied into the R. So record is found here, not found value is false. So 1003 record will be printed here. Next, because of loop, again fetch statement will be executed. After this, no rows are there. Record is not found. So C1 percentage not found value will be true. It terminates the loop and closes the cursor. So finally, all records are printed. Next, so this is a program to display all employees' records. Now, see one more topic. Listen. Next topic is cursor for loop. Cursor for loop. So, in real time, most of the developers use cursor for loop instead of simple loop. Okay. So, for cursor for loop, the syntax is for variable name in cursor name. For variable name in cursor name we write. Then write loop, end loop. In between that we write the statements which we want to execute repeatedly. So this is the syntax of cursor for loop. Okay, so this is important. Listen, for we give variable here in cursor name, loop, end loop. In between that we are writing the statements. So this syntax we have to follow to use the cursor for loop. If we use cursor for loop, what are the advantages we are getting, sir? So you tell me, to use the cursor, how many steps we have to follow? 4 steps. What are those? Declare the cursor, open the cursor, fetch the record from cursor, and close the cursor. So how many steps we are following? 4 steps we are following. If we use cursor for loop, the advantage is we have no need to open the cursor, we have no need to fetch the record from cursor, we have no need to close the cursor, just simply declare it. These 3 things will be done implicitly by the cursor for loop. This is the advantage we get. So generally, to use the cursor, how many steps we have to follow? 4 steps. If we use the cursor for loop, what is the advantage we are getting here? We have no need to open the cursor, we have no need to fetch the record from cursor, we have no need to close the cursor. All these 3 things will be done implicitly by this cursor for loop. And we have no need to declare this loop variable also. This loop variable will be declared implicitly as which type? percentage row type variable. Okay, so simple for loop is different, cursor for loop is different. In simple for loop, what you are writing, you are writing like this. For example, if you want to print numbers from 1 to 10 for I in 1 dot dot 10, okay, for variable name in start lower value, upper value, like this you are writing. This is different. This is simple loop, and this is different. This is cursor for loop. For cursor for loop, this is the syntax. For variable in cursor name, loop, end loop, in between that write the statements. So in normal cursor, okay, so if we use cursor for loop, the benefit is, if we use cursor for loop, if we use cursor for loop, the benefit is, if we use cursor for loop, we have no need to open the cursor. We have no need to fetch the record from cursor. Okay, and we have no need to close the cursor. Okay, and we have no need to declare the loop variable. We have no need to declare the loop variable. This loop variable will be declared implicitly as row type. Okay, so this loop variable, okay, so all above three things will be done implicitly. We have no need to do this one. So we have no need to open the cursor, fetch the record from cursor, close the cursor. All above three things will be done implicitly. So we have no need to declare the loop variable. This loop variable will be declared as row type, implicitly. We have no need to declare it. Okay, so if we use the cursor for loop, we have no need to open the cursor, fetch the record from cursor, close the cursor. Okay, and we have no need to declare the loop variable also. This loop variable will be declared as percentage row type implicitly. So this is the program. Same program, we want to display all employees records. Program to display all employees records using cursor for loop. We want to use cursor for loop here. Using cursor for loop, we want to display all employees records. What we have tried? Declare, begin, end, slash. Declare the cursor now. Cursor C1 is select star from EMP. Select star from EMP. Okay. Now, is it required to open the cursor now? No. Is it required to fetch the record from cursor? No. Is it required to close the cursor? No. So directly write cursor for loop. How we write cursor for loop? Observe the syntax first. For variable name in cursor name. For variable name in cursor name, loop, end loop. In between that, write the statements. Okay. So we are writing the cursor for loop now. For variable name, I am taking as R, row type. R will be implicitly taken as the EMP table row type. Okay. In which cursor we were accessing? C1. For R in C1, okay, loop, end loop. Okay. So here, what we want to do now, we want to print employee record. So to print the employee record, what we have to write? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, to access employee name, what we have to write? R dot e name. Okay, I want to get 3 spaces. Okay, R dot salary. Okay, if you want to display other things, you can print. I'm printing 2 details only. So now observe here, program is over.